everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with a bunch of fragrances that I am super excited to pull out now that it is finally winter time. So there will probably be a part 2 to this video because as I got to pulling, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got so many other ones that could be on this list, but I wanted to keep it somewhat manageable. So anyways, I think I've got 12 different fragrances here. I'm just gonna jump right in. So the first one is an amber fragrance, and it's funny because I talked about Halston Amber in my Christmas video as being like one of the darkest ambers in my collection. And it definitely is, but I do believe this one is possibly the darkest amber I've got in my collection. This one is meant for cold weather. This is a deep, dark winter fragrance, and I'm excited to pull this out and wear it. Now, it's funny because on the day that I'm filming this, we're having this weird heat wave. It was close to 70 degrees yesterday, which was Christmas Day. It is December 26th. It is currently 73 degrees outside. This happens here in the South. This has been the first winter in a while that I remember having warm weather like this, but I remember it was like this when I first moved out here like 20 years ago. But yeah, we're having this like really nice warm winter. But I think that these days are going to be gone. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's just going to stay like this all winter, but I have a feeling we have some cold days coming. But with that being said, it's funny that I'm filming this like dark winter fragrances video on a day that is like 73 degrees out. But anyways, the amber that I'm talking about is called Takes Two to Tango. This is a clone of Tango by Musk Milano. Oh my gosh, I have tested these side by side. I'm sorry, I have tested this side by side with the actual real Tango, and they're very, very close. There are some slight differences, but nothing notable enough that I would, say this isn't a great clone for it. It really is. This is a beautiful, deep, dark amber fragrance though. Oh my gosh, it's so good. This is perfectly unisex too. Like this could easily be worn by a man or a woman. I think it leans actually a little bit more masculine. It's such a deep, dark, I want to say almost slightly animalic amber. I don't know that there's anything animalic in this, but it's so rich and dark. It almost smells animalic. It's beautiful. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not one that I would suggest anybody run out and buy. I don't think that it's definitely not safe. You would have to be a true hardcore amber lover like I am to appreciate this or even like it or even want to wear it. But I do love this, and I only pull it out during this time of year because this is meant for like the deepest, darkest, coldest days of winter, like thick wool sweaters. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of being wrapped up in a very thick, cozy wool sweater. And yeah, this is like the perfect fragrance for that. It's beautiful. I just love it. So anyways, that is the first one. That is called Takes Two to Tango from Duois, which is a clone of Tango from Musk Milano. Okay, next we have a fragrance. I have not even given this a full wear test, you guys. When I was going through all my fragrances, I was like, holy cow, I forgot I even had that. I have been waiting for cooler weather, and even I should have pulled this out in the fall, but I had completely forgotten about it. So this is Jean Paul Gaultier La Belle. This is the Le Parfum though, the newest version that came out. Yeah, I don't want to say much, but it is. It's a deeper, darker, it's a bit smoother. It smells very, very much like the original La Belle, which I absolutely adore. This one is darker, richer, smoother. Definitely more cold weather centered. It is so good, and I cannot believe it, you guys. I've never even given this a full wear test. I sprayed it on, like when I first bought it. I sprayed it on and, just to make sure I loved it. This one I have not tested in warm weather, so this is the one that I was saying it's questionable as to if it could be worn in cold. I mean, anything can be worn by anybody at any time, no matter, you know, it's fragrance is fragrance. But, you know, I'm not sure if traditionally this should be like a cold weather fragrance, but I will definitely give this one a good full wear test, and I will definitely let you guys know in a what I wore last week video. I'm so excited to give this one a good wear test. I adore it. Okay, this next one, I only wear this in really cold weather because if you wear this in the heat, I could imagine it getting very, very cloying. This is Guerlain Mon Exlusif. This is Mon Guerlain, but this has a salt note in it. It's got a butter note in it, and that butter note is very decadent smelling. It turns this into like an almost gourmand version of Mon Guerlain, and it is stunning. But like I said, if you wear this in warm weather, it can definitely get cloying because this is rich, thick, buttery, sweet. Oh, it's so good. It's got a lot of the same notes as Mon Guerlain does. It's still got the lavender and the vanilla and the fern. But it's just got the addition of that butter note, and salt, and it is so good. So anyways, I love pulling this out in the really cold winter months. It is so cozy and comforting in cold weather. So anyways, that is Mon Exlusif from Guerlain. Okay, this next one. This one probably should have been in my Christmas video, but yeah, it's okay because I adore this fragrance just in the winter in general. This is called Botafumiero from Carner, Barcelona. I should have also included Meleg's incense fragrance with that one and just kind of showed them together because they're both the most beautiful incense fragrances. And Matthew Meleg's incense fragrance is based on a like 2,000-year-old recipe that was found on an Egyptian temple wall. So it's like smelling a little piece of history, which is pretty amazing, especially me being such a history person. But anyways, Botafumiero it's named after, I believe, those like incense things that they have in Catholic churches that like there's, you know, incense billowing out of them. I believe that is what a Botafumiero is. And this is just the most beautiful, very slightly woody, resinous, smooth, soft incense fragrance. And that's exactly what it smells like. It's like church incense, but it's got this really beautiful, soft smoothness to it. It's stunning. I love it. It's a tie between this and Matthew Meleg's incense fragrance as to which is my favorite. I love them both. And I only wear these in the winter time because they are very dark, rich incense fragrances. I adore them both. So anyways, that is Carner, Barcelona, Botafumiero. It's definitely time. Well, as soon as this nice weather goes away, which it will eventually, this will be definitely having a moment. Okay, this next one, I only wear this in the winter time, and I only wear it like once or twice a year because to me this is such a, like, I have to really, really be in the mood for this, and it is such a rich, decadent smelling fragrance. It's just not, it's not for the faint of heart. This is Club de Nuit Intense from Armaf, and this is a dead-on clone. Like a dead-on clone for Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Like a dead-on clone for Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. So this is basically like this is a dark rose and patchouli fragrance. Dark rose, patchouli. It's got an incense vibe to it. It's beautiful. It's very rich. It's slightly spiced smelling. It's just a rich, deep, decadent rose fragrance. I love it. And like smelling it right now, I'm like kind of craving it because I haven't worn it for so long. it's time. It's time to pull this one out. I'll probably leave it out for like a week and wear it a couple times throughout the week, and then I'll put it away until next winter. But it is stunning, and if you want a really good alternative for Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, look no further. This is, I have Noir de Noir as well. I've tested them side by side. You literally cannot tell the difference. This is one of those situations where you smell them both and it's not like, oh yeah, there's a slight difference. No, there's almost zero difference. Like, it's so dead on. So anyways, I love this. Armaf Club de Nuit Intense. I only bring it out in the dead of the winter time. Yeah, wear it a couple times and then put it away. It is the value for the money with this one too is incredible. I mean, it's basically like getting a beautiful Tom Ford fragrance for $30. I mean, it is incredible. So anyways, that is Armaf Club de Nuit Intense. Okay, this next one, this is another one that it's questionable. This really, I think this can be worn any time of year, but for me, this is a winter fragrance. I love wearing it in the winter time. I pretty much only wear it in the winter time. This is Lolita Lempicka, just the original Lolita Lempicka. This is the EDP formulation, and I love this. I've had this fragrance in my collection in some form, really, I mean, oh my gosh, for almost as long as I can remember. It's so beautiful. It's got a very distinct licorice note in it, as do all of her fragrances. I think I've got 3 other versions of this fragrance, and they all have that licorice note. It's dark, it's woody, but the licorice note is the most prominent note. It's got some flowers in it, but it's just all about that kind of woody licorice. Ugh, I love it. It's beautiful. Again, I've had it in my collection for so long that it's just such a familiar smell to me. I pretty much only wear this one in the winter time. I have the EDT formulation, which I definitely can get away with wearing that one any time of year. I've also got I think it's the L'Elixir one, and I've got another one. I've got 2 more. I love them because they all kind of smell like the original. They just have their little kind of nuances, which is something that I love about it. But anyways, that is Lolita Lempicka EDP formulation. It's just such a stunning cold weather, cozy fragrance. Okay, this next one is another amber fragrance, and I ration this fragrance anyways because this is the you can't get this one anymore. You can still get this fragrance, but it has been reformulated. This is the original formulation of Kate Walsh's Boyfriend. I love this fragrance. This is the most beautiful, like, plummy amber fragrance. Oh my gosh, it's just so good. And like I said, you still can get, you definitely can still get this fragrance, but it has been reformulated. So I just have this tiny little, is this a ½ ounce? Yeah, this is just a ½ ounce bottle. So I ration this like crazy. I will pull it out like only in the winter time, and I will only wear it like once a year. It is the most beautiful plummy amber, and that's exactly what it smells like. It's got this gorgeous, rich, deep plum note in the top. It's kind of fruity, but without being fruity. And it's got this, it's got a creaminess to it. Yeah, it's got this beautiful, sweet creaminess to it. It's just gorgeous. It's a very, very unique amber. I don't have anything else in my collection that smells like this. I think the closest thing I have is Armani C La Parfum, but they don't smell alike at all. They're definitely 2 totally different fragrances, but as far as the type of fragrance, they're similar. They're both kind of, they're both really beautiful, light ambers with a gorgeous fruit in the top. In the case of C, it's a blackcurrant note, and this one's plum, I believe. But still, they're the same type of fragrance, and they are so stunning. I even keep this in its original box just to keep it in the dark, because yeah, I'm gonna try and hang on to this for as long as I can. So anyways, that is the original formulation of Kate Walsh Boyfriend. I've heard that the new formulation is so good too. So I need to get my hands on a bottle of the new formulation because I've heard that they're both so good. Okay, next is a fragrance. This is so funny. I picked this up at TJ Maxx. I found it on clearance. It was like a gift set with the fragrance and the body lotion on clearance for $8. And I just took a chance and I grabbed it. And oh my gosh, do I love this fragrance so much. And it reminds me of Deep Dark Winter, this is the time of year that I love to pull this out and wear this. This is Judith Leiber Night. And this is also like a fruity, it's like a fruity patchouli, like a fruit chuli almost. Oh my gosh, I love this. This has got a cinnamon note in it. If I remember correctly, it's a cinnamon note. It smells like cinnamon to me. But it is the most beautiful spiced cinnamon note that keeps the fruit from being too sweet or from smelling in any way cloying. It's got patchouli in the bottom, but it's not like an overpowering patchouli. And it's not musky, which a lot of times that's the problem I have with fruit chulis is they give off an almost musky vibe. Judith Leiber Night does not. It's like this beautiful fruity patchouli fragrance with this gorgeous cinnamon note in it, but it doesn't give off any kind of a musky vibe. It's beautiful. This is one of those fragrances too. I think every time I talk about this, I say this too. This is one of those fragrances that just is beautiful on my skin. There's something about it that just meshes really, really well with my skin chemistry. And I just love it so much. I think this is plum too, if I remember correctly. Plum, some flowers, some cinnamon, patchouli, if I remember correctly. It's gorgeous. I love it. It was worth every penny of $8. Like, I still cannot believe that I found it for that price. Yeah, it's beautiful. So anyways, that is Judith Leiber Night. I love wearing this one in the wintertime. Okay, next we have, maybe my favorite sandalwood. Well, I don't know. I think the Santal Cardamom from Lancome, Maison Lancome, I think I might like it a little bit better than this. Anyways, this is Samsara from Guerlain, and this is such a beautiful sandalwood fragrance. It's smooth and woody. It still has like this beautiful kind of almost bright incensey quality to it. It's so good. This is another one that is just so good on my skin. This is the EDT formulation. I have a decant of a EDP formulation from 1993 in my collection as well. And it is thicker and richer and deeper smelling than this, but they're very, very similar. This has not been butchered in any way. It has been, I've heard that the new formulation, like the newest formulation in the B bottle, is really, really like dismal as far as how it performs. I don't know, I haven't tried that one, but I want to, just because I want to compare it to this one. But I love this. This lasts absolutely forever on me too. I went through, I think it was winter before last, I was like obsessed with this. I could not stop wearing it. I was wearing it like at least 3 times a week back then. And it's a beast. It's one of those, you can spray it on in the morning and you will smell like this all day long. Like no reapplication necessary. It's so beautiful and smooth and like an incensey sandalwood fragrance. I just adore it. It's so gorgeous. So anyways, that is, and I only pull this out in the winter time. It's a little bit too heavy really for any other time of year. It's even almost a little too heavy for the fall for me. This just screams like winter for me. So anyways, that is Samsara from Guerlain, the EDT formulation. Okay, this next one is one that I tried to test this when it was way too warm outside. I think it was like, I bought this in the middle of the summertime and I did try to test it and it was like sickening at that time, it was just too much, but I love the way this smells so much, and I cannot wait. Now that it is cold and wintertime, I cannot wait to give this a really, really good wear test. It's another one that I bought, and I still have not given it a good wear test. This is called Rose Arabia Almond from Widian. Somebody had sent over a sample of this to me. I think it was back in the spring. And I fell in love with this. I knew I wanted a bottle of it because it was just so good. It is the most beautiful, sweet, almondy rose fragrance, which are two things I absolutely love, rose and almond. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's slightly powdery. It's sweet. It's like rose water. It's like a powdery rose water sweetened with almonds. It's so, so good. But yeah, I cannot wait to give this one a good wear test. You guys will definitely see this in a what I wore last week video because I have not been able to give this one a proper wear test yet. So anyways, that is Rose Arabia Almond. This one is definitely cold weather. It's definitely a cold weather fragrance. I did try it in the heat. It was cloying in the heat because it was just too much in the heat. So anyways, that is Rose Arabia Almond from Widian. Okay, next we have a stunning amber fragrance. This is from Boucheron, and this is called Ombre d'Alexandrie. And my beautiful friend, actually, she's the one that told me about this because I was saying how I wanted to find a really good alternative for Hermes Ombre Narguilé because Ombre Narguilé is so incredibly expensive, and I was under the impression back then that it had been discontinued. Oh my gosh. So anyway, she messaged me on Instagram and told me about this fragrance. I immediately got on to FragranceNet, and they had a travel spray of it. So I grabbed the travel spray. And then after I got the travel spray, I fell in love with it. They still had full bottles available, so I went ahead and picked up a full bottle. And it smells almost identical to Ombre Narguilé. Like, almost identical. They smell so, so close. Yeah. I did test them side by side, but it's been so long ago, I can't remember if there were, like, slight differences. I'll have to test them side by side again. But they smell almost identical. Oh, it's so good. This is what I refer to as like an apple pie amber because it smells. There's something about it. There's no apple in it. There aren't like apple pie spices in it really, but there's something about the way these types of ambers are composed that they smell like apple pie. And that's exactly what this is. It's, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite ambers in my collection, but it's so sweet and it's so sweet and syrupy smelling and so rich and decadent smelling. I can only wear this in the wintertime. So I'm so excited. As soon as it kind of cools down a little bit more outside, I will definitely be pulling this out and giving it some love. So anyways, that is Boucheron Ombre d'Alexandrie. Such a stunning appley amber. And then last but not least, this is Mugler Alien Essence Absolue, and though you can literally wear any alien anytime, this is like my winter alien. This is so beautiful. It smells like, a lot of people compare it to root beer. I get more of like a spiced cola vibe more than root beer. But yeah, it's like a really syrupy, sweet, spiced cola fragrance. It's beautiful. It smells just like Alien, but yeah, but it's like a spiced cola version of Alien. I do definitely get the comparisons to root beer, for sure. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful though. This is, again, I can only wear this in the winter time. This is not one that I can pull out like just any time of year. It's almost too heavy for fall even for me. But yeah, I adore this fragrance. Sweet, syrupy, still got that jasmine and lots of vanilla. It's really sweet, slightly spiced. It really does smell like a spiced cola. So anyways, that is Mugler Alien Essence Absolute. It's such a beautiful wintertime alien for me, and I absolutely love it. So anyways, guys, those are 12 fragrances that I love pulling out for winter. I will have a part 2 to this because I wasn't able to fit them all in this video. I definitely have some more fragrances that I only pull out in the winter time. So yeah, I will definitely be back with a part 2. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
No.